How do you overcome fear? I want to share with you how to overcome fear. First of all, you want to understand fear. You see, if you don't master fear, you cannot overcome it. Very important. Now, fear takes place at two levels. Now, at the level of the conscious mind and at the level of the subconscious mind. Now, when you look, sometimes you could develop some fear even without you thinking about it. It's almost like a reflex. You see, so that is kind of fear that takes place at the level of your subconscious. So it just happens like reflex. You don't even need to think about it. Why there's some fear that you need to think about it, like some thoughts that you think about and then they generate fear. That's at the level of your conscious mind. You see. So now, how do you overcome fear? There are different types of fear, and fear is one of the enemies of success. It's one of the enemies of progress. It's one of the enemies of peace, of living a good life. So how do you overcome fear? I first mentioned that you must be able to master and understand the fear. See, that's the first thing you want to do. When you master the fear, then you're going to know how it works, and then you're going to know how to control it. For instance, let's say the fear that takes place at the level of your conscious mind. The fear that takes place at the level of your conscious mind, it requires your thoughts. You see, it's a kind of thought that comes to your mind, and then you think about it, and then generate that fear. So what do you want to do? So the moment the thought comes, so you're just gonna get a counter thought. You're gonna get an opposing thought that's gonna, replace that thought. Now the challenge with many of us is like we want to remove that thought. You may not literally remove the thought, but you can replace that thought, you see. Because your mind will not be blank at any time. Your mind will always be occupied with something. So it now depends on you what you want your mind to be occupied with. That is why people who don't engage their mind with something meaningful, they are always engaged with all those fearful thoughts and all that. You see, it's just like somewhere that is empty. It can be easily filled with wrong things, like you have a fallow land. It can be easily filled with weeds and all that. So you want to make sure that the thoughts that produce those kind of fear, that produce fear in your mind, you master those thoughts, and the moment they come, you get another thought, opposing thought that will replace them. So to give you an example now, let's say I'm afraid of the future. I have this thought just coming to my mind. Oh, hey, you're just gonna live in poverty. Your future is blurry. You're just those thoughts just coming to my mind. Oh, I'm not sure about my future. How am I gonna live my life? The moment those thoughts are in my mind, I don't try to just shout and just remove those. What I will bring opposing thoughts to replace those wrong thoughts. So what will I do at that moment? So at that moment, I will now think of, okay, but I'm working in my purpose. You see, opposing thoughts. But I'm working in my purpose. I'm living a good life now, and I'm planning my future, and I'm adding value to myself. You see, so I know my future is settled. The future, here I am, here I come. You see, so I know I'm working, I'm doing the right thing right now. So I check what I'm doing now. Am I working in my purpose? Am I doing what I'm supposed to do now? And then, am I planning for my future? Am I adding value to myself? Am I adding value to people? So the moment I'm thinking about that, it will just automatically replace those fearful thoughts. You see, how about the fear of death, which is very common? The fear of death, okay, you're not sure, you may die tomorrow, you may die 1 week from now, you may die 1 year after now, you may die. Okay, so what's the problem? But I'm living a good life. I've got to live my life. I'm not gonna die until I fulfilled my purpose. And death, by the way, is not a problem. It's not something to be afraid about. Why should I be afraid of death? It's just a transition for me. My life is not terminated. It's not terminated because my life cannot be killed. So it also depends on understanding, your level of understanding that you have. That is going to help you with how you tackle different kind of fearful thoughts that come to your mind. Very important. So all these things you want to take note of. Now that's at level of your conscious mind. When it comes to level of your subconscious mind, that's more or less like reflex. So what you want to do is that means you have to reprogram your system. You see, that takes a little bit longer time, because what happened is with the subconscious kind of fear, that one is more terrible than the one that happens at the conscious, because that one is already programmed in your system. So you need to rewrite the program. You see, you need to reprogram your mind. So which means you're gonna, for a long time, keep a good thought in your mind, in your conscious mind, that over time will now be engraved in your subconscious. So it will now overrule the old program. You see, the new programming will now remove the old program. That's how you can remove the thought that's like almost like a reflex. You see somewhere down, every time you just have this fear of death, fear of people, fear of public speaking, So maybe it has this kind of fear have developed over time, from your childhood when you were young, see, from your past experiences. So, but how you handle those fears to reprogram your mind, because there's already a whole program that is that's affecting your mind. So you want to reprogram it. All right. So that's how you can overcome fear. So if this is your first time of coming to my channel, make sure you subscribe, put on the notification so that you can get more amazing content on this channel. Alright, and also try to share the video with your friends on social media. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.